After coding school, I wanted to make a comeback the second I started noticing that, YouTube was much more impactful. Twitch, the tournaments in general, they were just a bigger deal nowadays, and everyone was catching on to something that we had fallen in love with years prior. And that was the Madden 18 year. In that year, I came back strong. I was in the driver's seat to do everything I wanted to do for the next year. And the first tournament of the year was the Jacksonville Tournament.
It was August 26th. I spoke to Ray the day before. He actually asked me to come to Jacksonville with him, but I just couldn't at the time.
A lot of people actually ask me why I wasn't there. The reason why I wasn't there is because I wasn't good at the game.
It was great to see everybody. It's the first tournament of the year. It's like the first day back at school. Everyone's hugging. First day happens, I win 2 of my matches out of 3. I hang out with a lot of my friends, catch up, we go get some food. Terrible experience for me as I then get food poisoning.
I remember he called me, he told me he wasn't feeling good.
It's now like 6 o'clock in the morning, I haven't slept that much. I know I have day 2 of this event. They tell me I'm playing VTech. And VTech is one of the better Madden players in the world as well. He's no joke, and I lose. And it was a very, very bad match for me, but my head wasn't even in it anymore. I was just so upset about everything that happened up till that moment. I'm frustrated by the event. I leave the exact room where everyone's playing, and I go to make a phone call just to see if I can get out of Jacksonville earlier.
I remember sitting on the couch, watching the stream on my Xbox. The screen kind of faded away, and as the screen faded away, I heard a few loud pops.
I thought it was like a balloon popped. I actually saw the shooter standing in the hallway, and I actually saw him shoot the second shot.
Excuse me, not an easy out. Oh.
I kind of dropped the controller and I just ran to my phone and called Ray immediately.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are coming on the air with breaking news: a mass shooting at an e-gaming tournament. It happened this afternoon in Jacksonville.
At a video game tournament. New details about the mass shooting in Jacksonville, Florida.
There is massive, massive commotion. There was serious fear in people's eyes, and that's all I needed to know to know that I gotta get away from whatever's happening right now.
He didn't pick up the first time, and then I called right back, because I knew what was going on was so serious.
And I knew the second that he called me, he'd know more because he's watching on stream. And that's when he tells me someone is shooting up the venue. There's just no way to take up that information and be like, you can't even ask him questions. You're running for your life right now. I hear a friend of mine and he's screaming, I'm shot, I'm hit, get help. That's just, he keeps saying it over and over again. I'm hit, get help.
People were being trampled. People were hiding, everybody was screaming in fear.
I just get in the car and speed away, like as fast as I could. I'm going down the wrong way of traffic as police are now flying down, passing me.
I seen people on the floor dead.
I get in touch with Della, who was barricaded in the bathroom. And the first thing that he told me was, he said, True Boy's dead. Then, literally, minutes after that, Spot Me is dead. Some of our other friends were being rushed to the hospital. It was just, there's just no words how surreal something like that is. Because in the moment, you lost brothers. People have died. People don't know if they're gonna survive. I mean, there were very close calls. That's the first thing on people's minds. But then after, weeks, months, so on and so forth, you have more time to think about things.
He took it as best as somebody possibly could. Did he have PTSD afterwards? Yes.
Things go through your head about whether I would have beat VTech in that moment. And I would have been sitting in the same exact spot.
He was willing to have the conversation, but I didn't want to feel like I was pushing him to talk about something he didn't want to talk about.
That really affected him in a way that caused him to pivot.
It's been months now. I wasn't in love with the idea of putting on a happy face and streaming One thing that that event does do to you is it makes you realize that life isn't promised, and if you're gonna put off something that matters to you a tremendous amount for a rainy day, that rainy day may never come. But the idea just comes into place, like, you know why you got into coding, you know why he became a lawyer, you guys know why you did all of this stuff. It was because you really wanted to go after your dream, doing what we always wanted to do, which was developing a video game.
He came to me talking about a PSG football game that he thought of that he wants to work on. And I was like, yeah, you know, why not? So I moved to New York around that time, and we've been full go with that since.
So we had a very unique approach, and we had a very unique insight. We kind of like molded what PSG would be. And ultimately, it's gonna be the first 11 versus 11 experience as everyone plays their own position. It's also the first social platform of its kind to exist on a video game. Gamers create a tremendous amount in this space. We wanted to create a platform where gamers and influencers alike could further their platforms.
So what's going to separate from Madden and some of the other sports games out there is it's a game made by gamers for gamers. I feel like it's a game that football players and gamers of every type will be able to appreciate.
We have a tremendous amount of things to add to this game that in sports video games, we feel people haven't seen before.
It's extremely rare that any content creators turn themselves into game creators. It's almost unheard of.
Well, I think the biggest challenge of trying to scale or even develop a game, particularly in this environment, one is funding, right? It costs a lot of money to make a game, and unfortunately, during COVID-19, both the economy has suffered, but also the ability to get your face in front of potential venture capitalists or institutional investors has been further muddled by that fact.
The stars have aligned for both of them to create a really great product when they come out with their own video game.
I honestly think that there is no Moss in terms of my success without Clutch. Maybe we don't develop a friendship, and maybe right now he's a corporate attorney working at some place instead of being one of the biggest YouTubers there is.
Would I have made the YouTube channel? Most likely. Would it have been as successful? I don't know. If I did not meet Ray, I would not be working in a startup to make a video game company to compete with Madden football, that's for sure.
Ray and Lamont, they're two great minds, and I think that they can pull off anything as long as they put their mind to it and they put their energy to it. I believe that they both would be able to do great things separate, but together, they're like a force.